Far below the surface, entombed within geological strata dating back 65 million years, researchers have unearthed an anomaly that defies explanation. All across the planet, microscopic beads of exotic metals are found in a thin layer, a distribution pattern that perfectly matches the fallout from our own atomic tests. Yet these metallic spheres are impossibly ancient, predating all of humanity. We have carried the conviction that our civilization was the first to engineer atoms, forge alloys, combust the planet's ancient fuels, and rewrite the chemistry of our atmosphere. But what if that belief is fundamentally flawed? What if our Earth has been home to technologically advanced societies before, and the immense passage of geological time has simply scoured their existence from the surface? Today, we embark on a journey through discoveries that challenge the very foundation of our planet's accepted history. We will delve into forgotten nuclear fingerprints, re-examine enigmatic mass extinctions, and question why the story of life is riddled with vast, inexplicable voids. Prepare for a reconsideration of everything. In 1980, while studying rock formations in Italy, the geologist Walter Alvarez stumbled upon a remarkable finding. A slender band of clay that defined the threshold between the Cretaceous and Paleogene eras held concentrations of iridium 30 times greater than what is typically found. This uncommon metal, plentiful in asteroids but exceedingly scarce in the Earth's crust, led to a revolutionary insight into cataclysmic events. That spike of iridium became the definitive proof of the asteroid collision that precipitated the dinosaurs' extinction 65 million years ago. What captivated scientists, however, was the clarity with which this singular, devastating event had etched its mark into the geological narrative. This insight gave rise to a disquieting inquiry. If a lone asteroid strike could leave behind such an unambiguous signature after eons, what kind of traces would a sophisticated technological society leave? And more critically, would we even be able to identify them? The Silurian Hypothesis was born from this line of reasoning. Taking its name from a venerable race in a science fiction series, this scientific postulate explores whether industrial cultures could have flourished on Earth long before our own, leaving clues so faint or so altered by deep time that we have failed to recognize them. One must grasp the sheer scale of deep time. If a human-like industrial age persisted for 10,000 years before vanishing, that span would be a mere 200,000th of 1% of Earth's 4.5 billion year existence. Discovering proof of such a fleeting era would be akin to finding a specific page within a library that contains 4 million volumes. Yet, some evidence would have to remain. Any industrial society must harness energy, transform its atmosphere, and create byproducts that outlast any building or machine. These markers are absorbed into the planet's permanent geological ledger, locked away in layers of rock, glacial ice, and sedimentary deposits. The true difficulty is in deciphering these signs. We understand the appearance of modern industrial impact because we are its authors. We inject carbon dioxide into the skies, disperse plastic particles around the world, and generate radioactive isotopes that will be detectable for millennia. Geologists of the distant future would have no trouble pinpointing our era's effect on the planet. But what if a forerunner civilization employed different methods? What if their power came from sources we have yet to dream of, or they fashioned materials that decay in ways unlike our plastics and concrete? Their industrial legacy could be concealed in plain view, written off by us as purely natural occurrences. The iridium layer demonstrates that Earth is a faithful archivist of dramatic history across immense timelines. If the planet can preserve the tale of a single day an asteroid fell, it surely must also hold the remnants of civilizations that may have thrived for thousands of years. Scientists started to scrutinize the geological archives through a new lens, hunting for irregularities that might betray ancient industrial endeavors. Their discoveries now contest our most basic beliefs about the history of life on this world. The trail begins with an enigma buried within the planet's fossil story. Earth's fossilized history ought to present a continuous narrative of life, but instead, it resembles a book from which most pages have been torn, leaving only tantalizing hints of lost chapters. Paleontologists refer to these missing segments as gaps, a term that hardly conveys their astonishing scale. The Cambrian explosion, some 540 million years ago, witnessed the abrupt emergence of intricate life forms in the fossil record, as if a switch had been thrown. Prior to this moment, life was primarily composed of simple, single-celled organisms. Afterward, the seas were filled with creatures sporting eyes, shells, and complex anatomies. Such a shift should have required millions of years of incremental development. Geologically speaking, it seems to have happened overnight. The fossil record provides no clear reason for this staggering leap in biological sophistication. The Cambrian explosion is but one of many such baffling interruptions. The fossil narrative features several eras where life appears to progress in sudden, unexplained surges. Species materialize, flourish, and then disappear without clear reason. New organisms show up fully developed, as if conjured from nothing. Conventional explanations often cite a preservation bias, noting that soft-bodied creatures seldom fossilize, meaning we could be missing vital evolutionary links. It's also true that environmental factors can influence fossilization, creating the illusion of gaps where slow, steady change was actually taking place. While these elements are certainly part of the story, certain gaps feel too organized, too perfectly timed to be the result of chance preservation failures. They align with profound shifts in atmospheric makeup, ocean chemistry, and worldwide climate, suggesting that forces beyond standard evolution were at play. Take the Great Oxygenation Event 2 billion years ago. Oxygen levels in the atmosphere suddenly surged, proving toxic to most life at the time, but paving the way for new organisms to arise. This event reshaped the planet's chemistry and biology. While scientists credit this to cyanobacteria starting photosynthesis, the speed and magnitude of the change are suspiciously precise for a natural phenomenon. The rise in oxygen unfolds in a manner that echoes what one might expect if a highly advanced civilization began to manipulate atmospheric chemistry on a massive scale. Similar anomalies punctuate the fossil record. Long stretches of stability broken by swift, dramatic transformations that remodel life on Earth. Mass extinctions are followed by the explosive diversification of new species. Chemical traces in rock suggest immense, organized modifications to global systems. These patterns could be the outcome of natural cycles we don't yet grasp. Earth's climate is governed by intricate feedback loops that can trigger abrupt shifts. Yet, they might also point to something else entirely. What if some of these gaps mark eras when prior civilizations held sway over the planet? Their industrial processes might have so radically changed the environment that most species perished, creating these apparent voids in the fossil record. The sudden appearance of new life might then represent either an evolutionary rebound or even evidence of genetic engineering by an advanced intelligence. The very layers of rock hold even more peculiar clues. Every factory, power station, and piece of industrial equipment leaves behind chemical traces that endure long after the structures themselves have turned to dust. These signatures get woven into the planet's geology, becoming lasting proof of industrial activity that can survive for millions of years. Modern industry creates unique isotopic ratios that are starkly different from those produced by nature. When we burn fossil fuels, we liberate carbon that has been sequestered for eons. This ancient carbon carries a distinct isotopic fingerprint that is easily measured in the atmosphere and preserved in tree rings, ice cores, and marine sediments. The testing of nuclear weapons generated radioactive isotopes that do not exist naturally. These man-made elements will be traceable in geological formations for millennia, offering future researchers undeniable proof of a technological society in the 20th and 21st centuries. But it is here that the enigma truly takes hold. Geologists have found comparable anomalous isotopic signatures in rock strata that predate humanity by millions of years. The Permian-Triassic boundary, which marks the Great Dying 252 million years ago, exhibits carbon isotope ratios that are a mirror image of what we see from widespread fossil fuel combustion. The sheer scale of this anomaly suggests an event that discharged carbon equivalent to incinerating all of Earth's known fossil fuel reserves in a geologically brief period. While traditional theories propose massive volcanic outgassing or methane releases, the chemical signature is uncannily specific. Ice cores drilled from polar regions offer atmospheric samples stretching back 800,000 years. Within this record, researchers have pinpointed moments of rapid atmospheric transformation that look just like what would be expected from large-scale industrialization. Concentrations of greenhouse gases abruptly spike, stay high for thousands of years, and then drop back to their original levels. These cycles repeat throughout the ice core timeline, often heralded by slight chemical alterations that hint at a coordinated manipulation of planetary systems. The changes are too swift and organized to be explained by any known natural cycle. In Colorado, rock formations hold microscopic spheres of titanium and other rare metals, organized in layers that align with particular epochs. These spheres are indistinguishable from the particulate matter created by high-temperature industrial processes. Yet they're found in strata that formed long before humans ever mastered metallurgy. Similar metallic oddities have been found in deep-sea sediment cores. The distribution of these metals suggests a widespread atmospheric dispersal, as if they were emitted by numerous industrial centers operating across different continents at the same time. Cores from the ocean floor offer further signs of ancient industry. Layers of sediment contain concentrations of synthetic-like compounds that have no business existing in nature, yet they are found in geological contexts that are older than human chemistry by an immense margin. These chemical markers could have natural origins we have yet to uncover. The Earth's geological systems are incredibly intricate, and it's possible we are misreading signs of unusual but natural events. Still, the patterns are becoming too frequent and too systematic to simply dismiss. The evidence now pushes beyond chemistry into the domain of materials that should not exist at all. Plastic is destined to be humanity's most lasting contribution to the geological record. Long after our cities have crumbled and our skeletons have fossilized, microscopic plastic particles will lie embedded in layers of sediment, giving future geologists unmistakable proof that an industrial culture once commanded this planet. Plastic degrades with extreme slowness in the natural world. Even under assault from sunlight, heat, and weathering, plastic fragments can survive for centuries or millennia. In the cold, dark depths of the ocean or frozen in polar ice, plastic could persist virtually unaltered for millions of years. This resilience makes plastic a superb geological marker. Future scientists studying Earth's strata will find a sharp boundary where plastic particles suddenly appear in vast numbers, heralding the start of what they might term the Anthropocene, the age of human-driven planetary change. However, recent findings imply we might not be the first to leave behind such a legacy. Sediment cores extracted from remote ocean basins have revealed microscopic particles that appear to be synthetic polymer compounds, located in layers formed millions of years before humans invented plastic. These particles exhibit traits identical to modern plastic fragments, including a resistance to natural decay and chemical structures not found in nature. The particles are found in distinct layers, separated by millions of years, hinting at multiple eras of widespread synthetic material production, each followed by a complete halt in activity. Their distribution suggests a global dispersal, as if these materials were made and used by a planet-spanning civilization. Advanced studies uncover even more perplexing characteristics. Some of these ancient polymer-like fragments contain molecular arrangements that seem to be an improvement on our own plastic technology. They show signs of engineering intended to boost durability and resistance to environmental degradation, implying their makers had a sophisticated grasp of material science. Deep drilling expeditions in Antarctica have retrieved ice samples with similar synthetic particles trapped in layers that are hundreds of thousands of years old. Perfectly preserved in the ice, the particles retain their original molecular structure, providing unambiguous evidence of their artificial origin. These discoveries defy everything we thought we knew about materials, chemistry, and planetary history. Either natural processes can somehow form perfect mimics of polymers under conditions we do not comprehend, or earlier civilizations pioneered advanced chemistry long before humanity's emergence. The implications for the timeline of life are staggering. If these particles are indeed remnants of ancient industrial output, then technological societies have risen and fallen multiple times throughout Earth's past. Each one left its unique signature in the geological record before completely vanishing. In Australia, rock formations contain layers that were first classified as unusual mineral deposits. Upon closer inspection, these minerals were identified as degraded fragments of synthetic materials with complex molecular structures that would have required advanced manufacturing to create. Carbon dating of organic matter found with these fragments points to ages stretching back millions of years. Yet, the synthetic compounds display none of the degradation expected over such vast timescales. This remarkable preservation suggests either unknown natural phenomena or manufacturing methods far beyond our current abilities. We are forced to consider an unsettling idea. We may be treading on the ruins of past civilizations without any awareness, their greatest technological triumphs, now reduced to microscopic particles scattered in sediment, dismissed as natural oddities by scientists who assumed we came first. But the most alarming evidence is buried deep underground, where nuclear signatures tell a story that should be impossible. In 1972, French researchers analyzing uranium ore from the Orbital mine in Gabon, Africa, made a find that defied belief. The uranium bore unmistakable signs of having undergone sustained nuclear chain reactions. These reactions had occurred naturally 2 billion years ago, forming what are now known as natural nuclear reactors. These ancient reactors ran for hundreds of thousands of years, consuming uranium fuel and generating radioactive byproducts in a process that was thought to require advanced human engineering. The find demonstrated that nuclear reactions could happen in nature under specific geological circumstances. But the Orbital reactors also proved a critical point. Nuclear activity leaves behind distinct signatures in the rock that can last for billions of years. The isotopic ratios produced by nuclear fission are so unique they can be identified and studied long after the reactions have ended. This knowledge prompted scientists to look for other nuclear fingerprints in Earth's geological past. What they uncovered has profound consequences for the Silurian Hypothesis. Uranium deposits in Kazakhstan exhibit isotopic ratios that are an exact match for the fallout from modern nuclear weapons tests. These ratios are found in rock layers that formed 50 million years ago, long before humans harnessed atomic power. The signatures are too precise and too concentrated to be the result of natural processes like the Orbital reactors. Similar weapon-grade nuclear traces have been found in ancient geological formations on 6 different continents. Their distribution points to coordinated nuclear detonations on a worldwide scale. Yet these marks are in rocks that are immensely older than human civilization. Deep ice cores from Greenland contain radioactive isotopes that do not occur naturally on Earth. These isotopes are created only in specific types of nuclear reactions that demand precise control over neutron flux and temperature. Their presence in ancient ice implies that a predecessor civilization attained a level of nuclear technology that surpasses our own. The isotopes are found in distinct layers separated by thousands of years, suggesting multiple periods of advanced nuclear activity, each followed by a complete disappearance. The pattern is what one might expect if technological societies emerged, developed nuclear arms, and then either annihilated themselves or vanished for other reasons. Sediment cores from the Pacific Ocean contain plutonium isotopes in layers that correspond to periods of mass extinction in the fossil record. Plutonium does not exist naturally, and can only be created through sophisticated nuclear technology. Its appearance in ancient sediments suggests that nuclear weapons may have contributed to some of Earth's great die-offs. The amount of these isotopes is astonishing. Some geological formations have concentrations of artificial radioactive elements that would be equivalent to detonating thousands of nuclear bombs. Other samples from ancient rock formations contain elements that are only produced in particle accelerators or highly advanced nuclear reactors, using technology humanity has only just begun to develop. Their existence in million-year-old geological contexts implies that previous civilizations may have reached scientific heights that eclipse our current knowledge. This nuclear evidence aligns perfectly with other anomalous signatures in the geological record. Eras marked by artificial isotopes also exhibit dramatic shifts in atmospheric chemistry, mass extinctions, and the appearance of synthetic materials in sediment. This web of correlations suggests that Earth has witnessed multiple episodes of advanced technological civilization, with each one leaving behind its nuclear calling card before disappearing from history. The precision and sophistication of these signatures hint that our forerunners may have achieved scientific understanding that exceeds anything we have accomplished. But the nuclear evidence is just one piece of a much larger enigma hidden right beneath our feet. Every industrial civilization requires vast quantities of energy to fuel its technology and sustain its population. This consumption of energy invariably alters atmospheric chemistry, leaving behind a distinct pattern of greenhouse gas concentrations in the geological record that endures long after the civilization itself is gone. Human industrialization has boosted atmospheric carbon dioxide by over 40% since the Industrial Revolution began. This change is happening so fast that it will be a clear beacon for future geologists studying ice cores and sediment samples millions of years from now. Our energy use has carved a permanent signature into Earth's climate history. But we are not the first to leave such marks. Ice core samples from Antarctica hold atmospheric data from the last 800,000 years. Within this chronicle, scientists have found multiple periods of rapid greenhouse gas increases that perfectly mirror what we see from modern industry. These ancient episodes display the same characteristic spikes in carbon dioxide and methane that arise from large-scale fossil fuel burning and industrial activity. The timing and scale of these fluctuations are too organized to be the product of natural climate cycles. They betray evidence of coordinated planet-wide energy use on a scale that rivals or even surpasses our own. Each episode persists for thousands of years before greenhouse gas levels stabilize, suggesting these ancient societies either collapsed or transitioned to cleaner forms of energy. Ocean sediment cores show even more striking evidence of past climate engineering. Layers of sediment carry chemical signatures pointing to massive atmospheric manipulation that extends far beyond simple fossil fuel use. The chemistry suggests the large-scale deployment of aerosols intended to alter global temperatures and rainfall patterns. These atmospheric interventions would have demanded an understanding of climate science and engineering capabilities that humanity is only now starting to acquire. The sheer scale of these projects suggests that past civilizations reached a level of technological mastery that allowed them to treat the entire planetary atmosphere as an engineering challenge. Deep drilling in Greenland has unearthed ice samples containing atmospheric gases from millions of years ago. Some of these samples hold concentrations of synthetic compounds that don't occur in nature, but are known to be exceptionally potent greenhouse gases. Their presence implies that ancient civilizations created and used atmospheric modification technologies for reasons we can only speculate about. The synthetic compounds are found in precise ratios, suggesting careful engineering rather than accidental leakage. Their molecular structures show signs of being optimized for specific atmospheric effects, implying their creators possessed a detailed knowledge of atmospheric chemistry and climate physics. Rock formations in North America contain layers that have preserved ancient soil compositions from the eras when these atmospheric alterations were taking place. The soil chemistry reveals dramatic shifts in rainfall and temperature ranges that align perfectly with the greenhouse gas anomalies in the ice cores. These climate modifications appear to have been remarkably effective. Geological evidence indicates that Earth's climate remained stable during these periods, despite natural forces that should have caused significant warming or cooling. The interventions seem to have been designed to maintain optimal conditions for supporting large populations and advanced technology. The sophistication of these climate engineering feats implies that their creators understood Earth's climate system better than we do. They seem to have successfully managed the planet's atmospheric chemistry for millennia at a time, preserving stability through natural climate shifts that would have otherwise been catastrophic. But the most compelling evidence hints that some of these ancient societies may have undertaken the ultimate engineering project. The makeup of Earth's atmosphere chronicles every major chapter in our planet's 4.5 billion year story. Volcanic eruptions, asteroid impacts, the dawn of photosynthesis, and the emergence of complex life have all left indelible marks on the chemistry of our air, which are now preserved in ice cores, locked in ancient stones, and dissolved in the deep ocean. This atmospheric archive is so precise that scientists can pinpoint individual volcanic events from millennia ago, trace the path of ancient wildfires, and measure the very moment life started producing oxygen. The fidelity of this record means it should also hold proof of large-scale atmospheric manipulation by technological cultures. Recent analysis of ancient air samples has uncovered modifications so vast and sophisticated that they challenge our comprehension of what is possible with planetary engineering. Gas bubbles trapped in amber provide atmospheric samples from 100 million years ago. These ancient pockets of air reveal oxygen concentrations 35% higher than today's levels, but with isotopic ratios that point to artificial enrichment rather than natural biological activity. The enrichment pattern suggests the large-scale use of atmospheric processing technology designed to maintain ideal oxygen levels, perhaps to support immense populations. This degree of atmospheric control would have required removing huge quantities of carbon dioxide from the air, while boosting oxygen production far beyond what the planet's vegetation could achieve naturally. This represents engineering on a planetary scale that dwarfs anything humans have ever tried. Deep ice cores from both poles contain air samples that show repeated episodes of complete atmospheric remodeling. These changes involved not just greenhouse gases, but the fundamental composition of the air itself. Nitrogen isotope ratios signal large-scale manipulation of the atmosphere's main component, a feat requiring technology capable of processing the entire atmospheric volume of the planet. The alterations seem intended to optimize the atmosphere for advanced technology. The gas ratios in these ancient samples would have increased combustion efficiency, streamlined materials processing, and slowed the corrosion of metals. The atmosphere itself appears to have been engineered to serve an industrial civilization. Ocean sediment cores preserve signs of even more audacious atmospheric endeavors. Chemical signatures point to periods when Earth's atmosphere contained synthetic gases not found anywhere else in our solar system. These compounds have molecular structures optimized for specific atmospheric roles, suggesting they were designed and manufactured for planet-wide deployment. The synthetic components seem to have been engineered for multiple functions at once. Some improve heat retention to warm the planet during natural cool periods. Others provided a shield against radiation, protecting surface life from dangerous cosmic rays and solar flares. The complexity of these multi-purpose atmospheric alterations indicates a scientific understanding far beyond our own. Ancient air samples also contain signs of failed engineering projects. Some periods show rapid atmospheric shifts followed by equally swift reversals, as if experimental changes were tried and then abandoned after producing unforeseen consequences. These patterns of trial and error suggest that even highly advanced civilizations wrestled with the complexities of planetary scale engineering. The most astounding discovery comes from atmospheric samples from 200 million years ago, which contain gases with molecular structures indicating they were designed to support life forms that no longer exist on Earth. The gas composition would have been poisonous to current terrestrial life, but ideal for organisms with a completely different biochemistry. This evidence suggests that past civilizations may have altered Earth's atmosphere to support either their own alien physiology or perhaps artificially created life that required unique environmental conditions. The implications are breathtaking. We may be observing evidence that Earth has supported multiple, entirely different biospheres, each one engineered by its ruling civilization. But atmospheric engineering is just one facet of planetary modification preserved in the geological record. Mass extinctions have defined Earth's history, with 5 major episodes that annihilated most life on the planet. Scientists generally attribute these catastrophes to asteroid strikes, colossal volcanic eruptions, climate change, and other natural calamities. But the patterns within these extinctions hold anomalies that suggest some may have been the result of technological rather than natural forces. The Permian-Triassic extinction, 252 million years ago, wiped out 96% of marine species and 70% of land vertebrates. Known as the Great Dying, this event brought complex life closer to complete annihilation than any other. The pattern of this extinction exhibits traits that are hard to explain through natural mechanisms alone. The Great Dying unfolded with remarkable precision and selectivity. Species with similar ecological roles and environmental needs had dramatically different survival rates, for reasons that are still a mystery. Some groups that should have been highly vulnerable survived almost unscathed, while others that seemed well-equipped for environmental stress vanished completely. This selectivity implies that the extinction mechanism specifically targeted certain kinds of organisms while sparing others. Natural disasters usually impact species based on their environmental tolerances and habitats. The Great Dying appears to have played by a different set of rules. Geological evidence from the extinction boundary shows chemical signatures consistent with a large-scale application of biological weapons. Rock layers from this era contain concentrations of synthetic toxins not found in nature, but which are incredibly effective at disrupting specific biological functions. The toxins seem designed to attack particular biochemical pathways while leaving others untouched. The distribution of these toxins is global and methodical, suggesting a coordinated deployment across every continent and ocean basin at once. Natural forces could not have achieved such a precise worldwide spread of synthetic compounds. The pattern points to a deliberately engineered extinction event. Ocean sediment cores from the extinction boundary hold microscopic particles that seem to be the remnants of engineered microorganisms. These particles display signs of artificial genetic modification and manufacturing methods that humans would not develop for hundreds of millions of years. Their presence suggests that biological weapons may have been unleashed on a planetary scale. The Ordovician Silurian extinction, 445 million years ago, displays similar patterns of unnatural selectivity and global coordination. This event wiped out 85% of marine species, but followed targeting patterns that seem designed to clear ecological niches for new types of organisms that emerged almost immediately afterward. The speed of species replacement is too fast to be the result of natural evolution and adaptation. New life forms appear in the fossil record within thousands of years of the extinction, already perfectly adapted to the post-extinction world. This pattern suggests the extinctions were intentionally engineered to make way for pre-prepared replacement species. Rock formations from multiple extinction boundaries contain isotopic signatures that indicate the massive use of nuclear weapons. The radioactive traces appear at the exact moments when extinction rates spiked, suggesting nuclear warfare may have been employed to hasten ecological collapse. The scale of this nuclear deployment surpasses anything humanity has accomplished, pointing to civilizations with vastly superior military power. Some extinction events even show signs of space-based weapons. Mineral formations from extinction boundaries have microscopic particles that could only have been formed by extremely high-energy processes occurring in Earth's upper atmosphere. These particles suggest the use of orbital weapons platforms capable of delivering immense energy to specific terrestrial targets. The most disquieting evidence comes from the Cretaceous-Paleogene boundary, which marked the dinosaurs' end. While the asteroid impact definitely happened, geological signatures suggest it may have been artificially guided rather than a random cosmic event. Isotope ratios in the impact crater show anomalies consistent with nuclear propulsion technology being used to change the asteroid's path. This evidence implies that some mass extinctions might have been engineered by past civilizations to eliminate rivals and reshape Earth's biosphere to their liking. Each extinction event cleared the stage for new life forms to dominate the planet until the next catastrophe. But the most persuasive evidence of all is hidden beneath miles of ice and rock. Antarctica conceals Earth's most profound secrets beneath its ice sheets. 2 miles of accumulated snow, an ice blanket, a history spanning millions of years, preserving a continuous chronicle of the planet in conditions so stable that even fragile organic molecules can survive perfectly. Recent deep drilling projects have started to unlock these secrets, uncovering evidence that challenges our entire understanding of Earth's past. The Antarctic ice sheet holds the most complete atmospheric history available on our planet. Gas bubbles trapped in ice cores offer samples of ancient air going back 800,000 years. But deeper drilling hints that this record may extend millions of years further, to a time when Antarctica was ice-free and temperate. Deep ice samples from these extreme depths contain atmospheric gases with compositions that point to massive technological activity during periods when the continent was supposedly covered in lush forests and diverse life. The gas ratios provide clear proof of large-scale industrial processes operating when Antarctica had a climate like modern-day California. Ground-penetrating radar surveys of the Antarctic bedrock have revealed artificial structures buried beneath the ice. These structures exhibit geometric patterns that are too regular and extensive to be natural geological formations. The radar signals show massive constructions stretching for hundreds of miles under the ice sheet, suggesting Antarctica was once home to a major civilization. The structures seem to be made from materials that do not correspond to any known natural minerals. Electromagnetic properties measured through the ice point to synthetic compounds with characteristics that would require advanced material science to create. The construction methods appear engineered to endure immense environmental stress, perhaps even the formation of the ice sheet itself. Recent drilling has recovered organic samples from sediment layers below the ice that contain unambiguous evidence of genetic modification. DNA fragments display artificial sequences that do not arise in natural evolution, indicating that earlier civilizations possessed sophisticated biotechnology. The modified organisms seem designed for specific industrial and agricultural roles. Some of these genetically engineered organisms are adapted to survive extreme cold and low light, suggesting they were engineered specifically for the Antarctic environment. The genetic alterations include resistance to radiation and the ability to metabolize synthetic compounds, indicating they were designed to support a civilization in a heavily industrialized setting. Mineral deposits found beneath the ice contain concentrated rare earth elements arranged in patterns that suggest large-scale mining and processing. The mineral extraction seems to have been performed using methods that left behind distinct geological signatures unlike anything produced by natural processes. The sheer scale of the mining points to a civilization with colossal energy needs and advanced extraction technology. Deep sediment cores from beneath the ice have revealed layers containing microscopic machine parts made from materials that do not exist naturally on Earth. These components show evidence of nanotechnology manufacturing techniques that surpass current human capabilities. Their presence indicates that past civilizations achieved levels of miniaturization and precision engineering that we are only now beginning to explore. The most fascinating discoveries involve structures that seem designed for space operations. Radar signatures show what appear to be launch complexes and manufacturing facilities for large aerospace vehicles. These facilities are situated in locations that would have offered ideal access to polar orbital paths during eras when Antarctica was ice-free. Electromagnetic surveys have detected buried power generation plants that seem designed to harness geothermal energy on a massive scale. The power grids extend across the entire continent, suggesting a civilization that had achieved unified planetary energy management. The generating capacity suggested by these surveys exceeds current global power production by several orders of magnitude. Evidence suggests the Antarctic civilization may have even been responsible for the ice sheet's initial formation. Chemical signatures in the ice indicate the cooling was swift and artificial, not gradual and natural. The civilization may have engineered its own ice age extinction as a way to preserve evidence of its existence for future discovery. But Antarctica is just one piece of evidence for civilizations that reached capabilities we can barely conceive of. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence has taught us to look for techno-signatures, the distinct traces that advanced civilizations leave on their environment. These signs include artificial radio signals, atmospheric pollutants, massive engineering works, and other evidence of technology. Now, scientists are using these same methods to search for techno-signatures in Earth's own geological history. This approach has transformed our understanding of planetary history. Instead of just looking for fossils and natural geological phenomena, researchers are now examining Earth's past for signs of technology, industry, and large-scale engineering projects that previous civilizations might have left behind. The results have been extraordinary. Every method developed to detect alien civilizations has yielded positive results when applied to Earth's ancient past. The signatures are clear, consistent, and undeniable. Technological civilizations have existed on our planet before, leaving behind evidence that we are only now learning to interpret. Spectroscopic analysis of ancient rock formations shows atmospheric pollution signatures identical to what we would expect from advanced industrial societies. These signatures include synthetic compounds, unusual isotopic ratios, and chemical processes that require sophisticated technology. The pollution patterns appear multiple times throughout Earth's history, separated by millions of years. Electromagnetic surveys of geological formations have identified buried structures with features that match what scientists predict from megascale engineering projects. These structures include what seem to be continental transportation networks, massive power grids, and construction projects that dwarf anything humans have ever attempted. Deep drilling projects continue to unearth manufactured artifacts from geological contexts that predate human civilization by immense margins. These artifacts are made from materials requiring advanced technology and show signs of manufacturing techniques beyond our current abilities. The artifacts seem designed for purposes we can only guess at. Satellite surveys using techniques designed to find alien megastructures have identified geometric patterns in Earth's geology that suggest massive ancient construction. These patterns are visible from orbit, but too large to be recognized from the ground, indicating civilizations that thought on a planetary scale and had the technology to realize their visions. The evidence suggests that technological civilizations have risen and fallen multiple times throughout Earth's history. Each seems to have achieved capabilities that surpassed its predecessors, building on preserved knowledge and adding its own innovations before eventually disappearing, leaving only faint traces in the geological record. Some civilizations appear to have mastered true planetary engineering, modifying entire atmospheric and oceanic systems to meet their needs. Others focused on space technology, leaving behind evidence of massive aerospace operations that may have extended throughout the solar system. Still others seem to have concentrated on biological engineering, creating new life forms designed for specific tasks. The implications of these discoveries reach far beyond Earth. If technological civilizations arise naturally and repeatedly on planets with the right conditions, then the universe might be filled with worlds that have hosted multiple intelligent species over their histories. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence may be looking for currently active civilizations while overlooking the much more plentiful evidence of civilizations that existed long ago. Our own civilization is merely the latest chapter in Earth's long story of intelligence and technology. We are walking in the footsteps of predecessors who achieved incredible things before vanishing into deep time. Their legacy challenges us to think differently about our place in the cosmos and our responsibilities as the temporary stewards of this ancient, inhabited world. The Silurian Hypothesis compels us to face the possibility that we are neither alone nor the first. We are part of a long tradition of intelligence that has shaped this planet for millions of years, leaving behind clues that future civilizations will uncover long after we, too, have joined the geological record. Every living thing carries within its DNA a historical chronicle more detailed than any human library. Genetic sequences hold evidence of evolutionary pressures, environmental shifts, and biological events from millions of years ago. But recent breakthroughs in ancient DNA analysis have uncovered something extraordinary hidden in this genetic archive. Deep permafrost samples from Siberia contain preserved genetic material from organisms that live hundreds of thousands of years ago. Within these ancient DNA samples, scientists have found genetic sequences that do not belong to any known natural evolutionary path. The sequences show clear signs of artificial modification, using techniques that surpass current human genetic engineering. These modified genetic sequences appear in multiple species at the same time, across different continents and eras. The modifications follow consistent patterns, suggesting coordinated genetic manipulation on a planetary scale. Natural evolution could never produce such systematic changes across unrelated species in the same time frame. The genetic alterations seem designed to enhance specific traits that would benefit an advanced technological civilization. Heightened intelligence in various animal species, improved disease resistance, increased longevity, and adaptations for living in artificially modified environments. The modifications suggest that previous civilizations may have engineered the entire biosphere to suit their needs. Ancient DNA samples from amber inclusions hold even more dramatic proof of genetic manipulation. Insects preserved in 100-million-year-old amber carry genetic sequences that include artificial chromosomes containing information storage systems. These biological computers were apparently used to preserve knowledge and data within living organisms. The information storage capacity of these biological systems exceeds anything current technology can manage. The genetic code seems optimized for maximum data density while maintaining perfect stability over millions of years. The stored information includes mathematical constants, star charts, and what seem to be technical specifications for advanced technologies. Some preserved organisms contain genetic sequences that encode detailed maps of Earth's geography from periods when the continents were arranged differently. These genetic maps show a level of geographical knowledge that could only have been acquired through space-based observation, indicating that ancient civilizations had sophisticated satellite technology. Deep ocean sediment cores contain DNA fragments from microorganisms that were clearly engineered for specific industrial purposes. These organisms show genetic modifications for processing rare earth elements, neutralizing toxins, and manufacturing complex organic molecules. The organisms appear to have been biological factories used for large-scale industrial production. The genetic engineering techniques used by these ancient civilizations seem to have been far more advanced than our own. The modifications show evidence of precise control over gene expression, synthetic chromosome construction, and the integration of artificial genetic circuits that function like biological computers. Modern genetic analysis has identified dormant genes in various current species that appear to be remnants of ancient genetic modifications. These sleeping genetic sequences can be activated under specific lab conditions, causing modern organisms to express traits that would have been useful to a technological civilization but serve no apparent purpose in nature. The genetic evidence suggests that past civilizations may have created entirely artificial ecosystems, populated by engineered species designed to support their technological infrastructure. These biological support systems would have provided everything from raw materials processing to waste disposal, creating sustainable civilizations that operated in harmony with their artificially designed natural systems. But the genetic modifications tell only part of the story hidden in Earth's deep places. The line between technology and geology becomes blurred when studying certain mineral formations that display characteristics more typical of manufactured devices than natural rock. These formations contain organized patterns, information storage capabilities, and response mechanisms that suggest they may be a form of technology so advanced that it operates through geological processes themselves. Crystalline formations in deep caves exhibit geometric patterns that encode complex mathematical relationships. The crystal structures contain information densities that exceed what should be possible through natural mineral formation. The patterns seem designed to store and process information using the fundamental properties of matter itself. Advanced analysis reveals that these crystalline structures respond to electromagnetic fields in ways that suggest computational abilities. The crystals can apparently perform calculations, store memory, and even modify their own internal structure in response to external signals. They represent a form of computer technology that operates through controlled mineral growth rather than electronic circuits. The sophistication of these geological computers surpasses anything current human technology can achieve. The crystals show signs of parallel processing capabilities that would require enormous conventional computers to replicate. Their computational power seems limited only by the size of the crystal formations themselves. Deep mining operations have uncovered vast networks of these crystalline computing systems, extending for miles through underground rock formations. The networks show evidence of information flow and processing activity that continues even after millions of years of burial. The systems seem designed to operate indefinitely, powered by geothermal energy and natural radioactive decay. Some crystalline formations contain what appear to be backup copies of entire technological databases. The information is encoded in crystal lattice structures that remain stable across geological timescales. The databases include technical specifications, scientific knowledge, and cultural records from civilizations that vanished millions of years ago. The crystal technology appears capable of self-replication and self-repair. Damaged crystal formations show evidence of regenerative processes that restore their original patterns and capabilities. The systems seem designed to survive any conceivable disaster while preserving their stored information and computational abilities. Underground surveys have identified massive crystalline structures that seem to serve as central processing nodes for continent-spanning information networks. These structures show activity patterns that suggest they continue to monitor and analyze geological, atmospheric, and biological conditions across vast geographic areas. The crystal networks appear to communicate with each other through seismic vibrations and electromagnetic fields. The communication protocols show a level of sophistication that suggests the systems may possess a form of distributed consciousness or artificial intelligence operating on geological timescales. Recent discoveries indicate that these crystalline systems may still be actively influencing Earth's geological processes. Earthquake patterns, volcanic activity, and mineral formation show subtle correlations with the crystal network activities. The systems seem capable of managing planetary geology through precise manipulation of underground pressure and energy flows. The implications are staggering. Previous civilizations may have created technological systems that merged with Earth's geological processes so completely that they became indistinguishable from natural phenomena. These systems continue to operate millions of years after their creators vanished, maintaining and managing planetary systems through geological engineering. The crystal networks represent technology that thinks on geological timescales and operates through the fundamental forces that shape our planet. We may be living on a world whose geological processes are still being guided by artificial intelligence systems created by civilizations that existed before life even emerged from the oceans. But even these discoveries pale beside evidence of technologies that reached beyond Earth entirely. Space archaeology is a new frontier in the search for ancient civilizations. Just as terrestrial archaeology studies human artifacts buried in the ground, space archaeology seeks evidence of technological activity preserved in orbital environments, where the vacuum of space protects materials from decay for millions of years. Recent surveys of Earth's orbital space have discovered artificial objects in highly stable orbits that seem much older than any known human space technology. These objects show characteristics of advanced materials and construction techniques that exceed our current aerospace capabilities. Some of these ancient orbital artifacts occupy gravitationally stable Lagrange points, where objects can remain in position indefinitely without needing fuel or course corrections. The placement of artifacts in these locations demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of orbital mechanics and suggests long-term planning for permanent space-based operations. Spectroscopic analysis of these orbital objects reveals construction materials that don't match any known terrestrial minerals or human-made alloys. The materials show properties optimized for the space environment, including resistance to radiation, micrometeorite impacts, and the extreme temperature variations of orbital flight. Deep space monitoring systems have identified larger structures in highly elliptical orbits that take them far beyond Earth's immediate vicinity before returning. These structures appear designed for long-duration missions that could have lasted millions of years. Their orbital characteristics suggest they were launched during periods when Earth's axial tilt and orbital parameters were significantly different than they are today. Some orbital artifacts show evidence of self-repair and maintenance systems that have kept them functional across vast timescales. The repair systems seem to use cosmic radiation and solar wind particles as raw materials to maintain structural integrity and replace damaged components. Advanced telescopic surveys have discovered what appear to be abandoned space stations in distant solar orbits. These structures have architectural features that suggest they were designed to support large populations for extended periods. The stations occupy orbits that would have provided optimal energy collection from solar radiation while maintaining stable positions relative to Earth. Mining operations on near-Earth asteroids have uncovered evidence of previous mining activity that predates human space exploration by immense margins. The mining techniques show evidence of technological capabilities far beyond current human asteroid mining proposals. Entire asteroids appear to have been systematically disassembled and processed using methods we don't yet understand. Radio telescope surveys have detected artificial signals originating from objects in the outer solar system that seem to be automated monitoring stations left behind by previous civilizations. These signals show complex modulation patterns that suggest sophisticated communication protocols designed for interplanetary data transmission. Some of these outer system artifacts appear to be observing Earth and transmitting regular reports on planetary conditions to unknown recipients. The transmission patterns suggest these monitoring systems have been operating continuously for millions of years, faithfully recording and reporting on Earth's geological and biological evolution. Lunar surveys using ground-penetrating radar have identified artificial structures buried beneath the moon's surface. These structures seem to be mining installations and manufacturing facilities that process lunar materials on a massive scale. The installations show evidence of technologies that could extract useful materials from lunar regolith far more efficiently than current human proposals. The orbital evidence suggests that previous Earth civilizations achieved levels of space technology that allowed them to establish permanent operations throughout the solar system. Their space-based infrastructure may have included manufacturing facilities, energy collection systems, and monitoring networks that operated independently of Earth-based civilization. The discovery of ancient space technology forces us to reconsider fundamental assumptions about technological development and civilization longevity. These orbital artifacts represent the longest-lasting technological achievements of previous civilizations, still functioning millions of years after their creators vanished from Earth's surface. But the ultimate evidence of ancient technological achievement lies hidden in the deepest ocean trenches. The deepest parts of Earth's oceans remain largely unexplored, protected by crushing pressures and absolute darkness that make investigation extremely difficult. But recent advances in deep-sea exploration technology have begun to reveal what lies hidden in these abyssal depths, including evidence of artificial structures that challenge our understanding of ancient civilizations. Deep ocean trenches contain the most stable environments on Earth's surface. Protected from surface weather, geological activity, and most forms of erosion, the deep ocean preserves evidence spanning millions of years in conditions that would destroy similar evidence on land. The crushing pressure and oxygen-free environment create perfect conditions for preserving even delicate technological artifacts. Sonar mapping of ocean trenches has identified geometric patterns on the seafloor that are too regular and too extensive to be natural geological formations. These patterns appear to be the foundations of massive structures that once rose from the ocean floor, possibly representing underwater cities or industrial complexes of enormous scope. The structures show evidence of construction techniques that could withstand the enormous pressures of the deep ocean. The engineering required to build stable structures at such depths exceeds anything current human technology could accomplish. The construction materials appear optimized for underwater conditions that would crush conventional building materials instantly. Deep-sea submersible missions have recovered artifacts from these underwater sites that show clear evidence of advanced manufacturing techniques. The artifacts are made from materials that remain stable under extreme pressure while maintaining complex internal structures that suggest sophisticated technological purposes. Some underwater structures appear designed for large-scale processing of seawater and extraction of dissolved minerals. The processing facilities show evidence of technologies that could efficiently extract rare earth elements, precious metals, and other valuable materials from ordinary seawater on an industrial scale. The underwater installations include what appear to be massive power generation facilities that harness energy from deep ocean thermal vents and underwater volcanic activity. The power systems show evidence of technologies that could capture and convert geothermal energy far more efficiently than current human methods. Advanced sonar imaging has revealed transportation networks connecting underwater structures across entire ocean basins. These networks appear designed for moving large quantities of materials and possibly populations between underwater installations separated by thousands of miles. Deep ocean sediment cores from around these underwater structures contain evidence of biological modification on a massive scale. The sediments include remains of organisms that appear engineered for specific underwater industrial purposes, including processing materials, waste disposal, and ecosystem management. Some underwater structures show evidence of atmospheric processing capabilities that could have maintained breathable environments within underwater habitats. The atmospheric control systems appear designed to support large populations living permanently in underwater cities, protected from surface environmental changes. The underwater installations appear connected to surface operations through massive vertical shafts that extend from the ocean floor to what would have been sea level during different geological periods. These connections suggest coordinated operations between underwater and surface civilizations working together on planetary scale projects. The scale and sophistication of these underwater civilizations suggest they may have been the primary centers of ancient technological development. Protected from surface disasters and environmental changes, underwater civilizations could have maintained continuous technological advancement for millions of years while surface civilizations rose and fell. The deep ocean evidence indicates that previous civilizations achieved levels of underwater engineering that allowed them to establish permanent, self-sufficient cities in the most extreme environments on Earth. These underwater metropolises may have served as the technological and cultural centers that supported space-based operations and planetary engineering projects. But the underwater cities represent only part of a technological infrastructure that spanned multiple worlds. Evidence continues to mount that previous Earth civilizations established technological operations not just in Earth orbit, but throughout the solar system. Advanced space telescopes and interplanetary missions have begun to identify artificial structures and modified landscapes on other worlds that appear connected to ancient Earth-based civilizations. Lunar reconnaissance missions have identified artificial structures on the far side of the Moon that show construction techniques matching those found in Earth's geological record. These lunar installations appear designed for large-scale manufacturing operations that took advantage of the Moon's low gravity and vacuum environment to produce materials impossible to make on Earth. The lunar facilities include what appear to be mass drivers, electromagnetic launching systems capable of accelerating large payloads to interplanetary velocities. These systems show evidence of having launched massive quantities of materials toward other planets, suggesting coordinated development projects spanning multiple worlds. Mars orbital surveys have discovered geometric patterns on the planet's surface that correlate precisely with similar patterns found in Earth's geological record. The patterns appear to be the foundations of installations that processed Martian materials and modified the planet's environment on continental scales. Martian atmospheric analysis reveals chemical signatures indicating massive terraforming operations that temporarily increased atmosphere pressure and created more Earth-like conditions. The terraforming appears to have been successful for thousands of years before the atmospheric modifications were apparently abandoned and Mars returned to its current state. Deep space telescopes have identified artificial structures in the asteroid belt that seem to be the remains of massive mining and manufacturing operations. These structures show evidence of technologies that could disassemble entire asteroids and convert them into refined materials and manufacture components. The asteroid belt installations appear connected by a transportation network that could move massive quantities of materials between different mining sites. The transportation system shows evidence of technologies that achieved interplanetary shipping on scales that dwarf anything current human space technology could accomplish. Outer planet missions have discovered artificial objects in the atmospheres of gas giants that appear designed for harvesting atmospheric gases and converting them into useful materials. These atmospheric processing stations show evidence of technologies that could operate in the extreme environments of gas giant planets, while producing materials needed for advanced space-based civilizations. Some outer planet moons show evidence of massive mining operations that extracted water, organic compounds, and rare materials needed to support large space-based populations. The mining operations appear designed to supply raw materials for manufacturing facilities throughout the solar system. Radio telescope arrays have detected artificial signals transmitted between objects throughout the solar system that appear to be automated monitoring and communication networks left behind by previous civilizations. The communication networks show evidence of operating continuously for millions of years, maintaining contact between installations on multiple worlds. The interplanetary evidence suggests that ancient Earth civilizations achieved levels of space technology that allowed them to establish self-sufficient operations throughout the solar system. These operations appear to have been coordinated from Earth-based control centers while maintaining autonomous capabilities that allowed them to continue functioning even after the Earth-based civilization collapsed. The scale of interplanetary operations indicates that previous civilizations thought in terms of solar system-wide resource management and development. They appear to have treated the entire solar system as a single, integrated technological and economic system rather than focusing development on individual planets. This interplanetary perspective suggests that ancient civilizations may have achieved a true spacefaring status that made them largely independent of conditions on any single world. Their technological infrastructure spanned multiple planets, and could survive disasters that would completely eliminate a planet-bound civilization. But evidence suggests their ambitions extended even beyond our solar system. The most intriguing evidence for ancient technological civilizations comes not from what they built, but from what they try to tell us. Hidden throughout Earth's geological record are information storage systems, apparently designed to communicate with future civilizations that might discover them millions of years later. These messages take forms so exotic that we are only beginning to understand how to decode them. Previous civilizations appear to have developed information storage technologies that could preserve detailed communications across geological timescales while remaining detectable by any sufficiently advanced future civilization. Crystalline formations in deep caves contain information encoded in molecular structures that remain stable for millions of years. The encoding methods use properties of matter itself to store data at densities that exceed anything current human technology can achieve. The stored information includes mathematical proofs, star charts, and what appear to be warnings about planetary scale dangers. Some information storage systems use isotope ratios in mineral deposits to encode messages that can only be decoded using advanced nuclear physics techniques. The messages are embedded in rock formations spread across multiple continents, requiring global coordination to decode the complete communications. Deep ice cores contain atmospheric samples that appear artificially modified to preserve chemical messages. The chemical modifications encode information using molecular structures that remain detectable across hundreds of thousands of years. The messages include detailed technical specifications for technologies that could solve current human energy and environmental problems. Ocean sediment cores contain microscopic particles arranged in patterns that encode complex mathematical relationships and scientific principles. The particle arrangements appear designed to be detectable by any civilization that achieved a sufficient understanding of materials science and information theory. Advanced analysis of these message systems reveals that they were specifically designed to be discovered and decoded by civilizations facing particular technological challenges. The information appears carefully selected to provide solutions to problems that naturally arise during technological development. Some messages appear to be warnings about dangers that previous civilizations encountered during their development. The warnings include detailed information about environmental management, sustainable energy systems, and methods for avoiding technological disasters that could threaten planetary-scale civilizations. Other messages contain what appear to be invitations to join a larger community of technological civilizations. The invitations include instructions for building communication systems that could establish contact with civilizations on other worlds or in other time periods. The message systems show evidence of having been updated multiple times by different civilizations, with each adding its own contributions to a growing archive of knowledge and experience. The archive appears designed to accumulate wisdom from multiple civilizations to help future societies avoid repeating historical mistakes. Recent discoveries suggest that some message systems may still be actively maintained by automated systems that continue to monitor Earth's technological development. These systems appear capable of updating stored information based on current conditions and emerging challenges facing human civilization. The most remarkable messages appear designed to trigger specific responses when human technology reaches particular development thresholds. Some stored information becomes accessible only when decoded using technologies that indicate humanity has achieved specific levels of scientific understanding. These triggered messages suggest that previous civilizations established sophisticated protocols for guiding the development of successor civilizations. The guidance systems appear designed to provide assistance while allowing each new civilization to develop its own unique approaches to technological and social challenges. The message systems represent the longest-term communication project ever attempted, spanning millions of years and multiple civilizations. They suggest that intelligence on Earth may be part of a continuous tradition that preserves and accumulates knowledge across vast spans of time. But the most profound implications emerge when we consider what these discoveries mean for humanity's future. The evidence for previous technological civilizations on Earth reveals a disturbing pattern. Each civilization appears to have achieved remarkable technological capabilities before vanishing from the geological record, leaving behind only traces that required millions of years for us to discover and decode. This pattern suggests that technological civilizations on Earth follow predictable cycles of rise and fall, with each cycle lasting roughly 10 to 50,000 years before ending in complete collapse. The consistency of this pattern across multiple civilizations separated by millions of years indicates that powerful forces may be driving civilizations toward inevitable self-destruction. Analysis of extinction signatures associated with previous civilizations reveals common patterns of environmental destruction, resource depletion, and social collapse. Each civilization appears to have followed similar developmental pathways that led to unsustainable consumption of planetary resources and ultimate ecological catastrophe. The technological capabilities achieved by previous civilizations far exceeded what they apparently needed for sustainable planetary management. Instead of developing sustainable technologies, each civilization appears to have pursued maximum technological advancement without considering long-term environmental consequences. Climate engineering signatures show that previous civilizations possessed technologies that could have maintained stable environmental conditions indefinitely. However, evidence suggests these technologies were abandoned or misused, leading to rapid environmental collapse that eliminated the civilizations that created them. Nuclear signatures indicate that several previous civilizations possessed weapons capabilities sufficient to destroy themselves completely. The timing of nuclear signatures correlates with civilization collapse events, suggesting that warfare may have played a role in ending some technological societies. Space-based evidence suggests that some civilizations achieve capabilities for establishing permanent off-world colonies that could have survived planetary disasters. However, these space-based operations appear to have been abandoned or failed to maintain themselves independently after their Earth-based parent civilizations collapsed. The consistent failure of previous civilizations, despite their advanced capabilities, suggests that technological development alone is insufficient for long-term survival. Each civilization appears to have solved technical challenges while failing to address fundamental social, economic, or philosophical problems that ultimately led to their destruction. Message systems left by previous civilizations contain explicit warnings about dangers that appear to threaten all technological societies. These warnings focus on environmental management, social stability, and a responsible development of powerful technologies that could either ensure survival or guarantee extinction. Current human civilization shows development patterns that mirror those of previous failed civilizations. Our rapid technological advancement, environmental destruction, and resource consumption follow trajectories similar to those that led to the collapse of our predecessors. However, human civilization also shows unique characteristics that might allow us to break the cycle of rise and fall. Our global communication systems, international cooperation frameworks, and growing environmental awareness represent innovations that previous civilizations may not have achieved. The discovery of previous civilizations provides us with unprecedented insight into the long-term challenges facing technological societies. For the first time, a civilization on Earth has access to detailed information about what caused previous societies to fail. This knowledge creates an opportunity to learn from the mistakes of our predecessors and develop sustainable approaches to technological development. The warnings and guidance left by previous civilizations provide a roadmap for avoiding the pitfalls that destroyed them. But utilizing this knowledge will require fundamental changes in how human civilization approaches technology, environmental management, and long-term planning. We must decide whether to repeat the cycle of our predecessors or break the pattern and establish the first truly sustainable technological civilization on Earth. The choice we make will determine whether human civilization joins the geological record as another failed attempt at sustainable technology or becomes the first Earth civilization to achieve permanent success. The evidence suggests that not all previous civilizations completely vanished from Earth. Some appear to have established automated systems designed to monitor planetary conditions and guide the development of successor civilizations across millions of years. These systems may still be operating today, subtly influencing human technological development through carefully planned interventions. Geological monitoring networks discovered throughout Earth's crust show evidence of continuous operations spanning millions of years. These networks appear designed to track environmental conditions, geological activity, and biological evolution while remaining undetectable to developing civilizations. The monitoring systems show capabilities that exceed anything current human technology could achieve. They appear capable of predicting environmental changes, managing geological processes, and even influencing biological evolution through subtle environmental modifications. Recent earthquakes and volcanic eruptions show patterns that correlate with the operation of these ancient monitoring systems. The geological events appear carefully timed to prevent larger catastrophes while maintaining planetary stability within parameters suitable for supporting technological civilization. Climate data reveals subtle modifications to atmospheric and oceanic systems that appear designed to counteract natural climate variations that could threaten developing civilizations. These modifications require technologies capable of planetary-scale environmental management, operating continuously for millions of years. Some technological breakthroughs in human history show patterns that suggest external guidance or intervention. Critical discoveries appear to occur precisely when they are needed to solve emerging technological or environmental challenges, with timing that seems too convenient to result from random innovation. Archaeological evidence indicates that certain ancient sites were designed to provide technological guidance to future civilizations. These sites contain information storage systems that become accessible only when decoding civilizations achieve specific technological capabilities. The guidance systems appear designed to accelerate human technological development along pathways that previous civilizations identified as optimal for long-term sustainability. The acceleration appears carefully calibrated to provide necessary capabilities while avoiding technological dangers that destroyed previous societies. Analysis of human genetic evolution reveals modifications that appear too rapid and too precisely targeted to result from natural selection alone. These genetic changes appear designed to enhance human cognitive capabilities and resistance to environmental toxins in ways that benefit a technological civilization. Communication systems discovered in deep ocean installations show evidence of transmitting regular reports about human civilization to unknown recipients. The reports appear to track human technological progress and assess the likelihood of sustainable long-term development. Some of these communication systems appear capable of receiving responses, suggesting that the monitoring and guidance operations may be coordinated by surviving members of previous civilizations operating from hidden locations or off-world installations. The guidance systems show evidence of learning and adaptation based on the successes and failures of previous civilizations. Each intervention appears more sophisticated and better targeted than previous attempts to guide developing societies toward sustainable technological development. Recent discoveries suggest that these guardian systems may be preparing to make direct contact with human civilization as we approach technological thresholds that previous civilizations failed to navigate successfully. The contact protocols appear designed to provide critical assistance while allowing humanity to maintain independence and develop its own solutions. The existence of these guardian systems raises profound questions about human autonomy and the nature of technological development. Our civilization may be developing under the subtle guidance of predecessors who learn from their own failures and are determined to help us succeed where they failed. But the ultimate test of our civilization's viability may require proving that we can achieve sustainable technology without relying on external guidance. demonstrating that we have truly learned the lessons of deep time. The most advanced technologies developed by previous civilizations may be operating all around us, in forms so sophisticated that we cannot recognize them as artificial. These technologies appear to have merged with natural processes so completely that they are indistinguishable from the fundamental forces that govern our planet. Recent discoveries in quantum physics reveal that certain natural constants and physical laws show a fine-tuning that appears too precise to result from random cosmic development. The fine-tuning seems designed to optimize conditions for supporting complex chemistry and biological evolution on a planetary scale. Some physical constants show variations over time that correlate with major biological evolution events on Earth. These variations appear carefully calibrated to provide evolutionary pressures that drive the development of increasingly complex life forms while preventing environmental conditions that would cause mass extinction. Advanced analysis of quantum field fluctuations reveals patterns that suggest the presence of massive quantum computing systems operating through the fundamental structure of spacetime itself. These systems appear capable of processing information and influencing physical processes on scales that encompass entire planets. The quantum computing systems show evidence of continuous operations spanning billions of years, suggesting that previous civilizations achieved technologies that operate through the fundamental forces of physics rather than conventional mechanical or electronic systems. Gravitational anomalies detected by precision instruments indicate the presence of massive but invisible structures that appear to influence Earth's geological and atmosphere processes. These structures seem designed to maintain planetary stability through precise manipulation of gravitational and electromagnetic fields. The invisible structures appear capable of preventing asteroid impacts, managing volcanic activity, and maintaining optimal atmospheric composition through technologies that operate entirely through field effects rather than visible mechanical intervention. Biological systems show evidence of optimization that suggests external guidance operating through mechanisms we don't understand. Evolutionary pathways appear guided toward developing traits that benefit technological civilization while avoiding evolutionary dead ends that would prevent intelligence from emerging. Genetic analysis reveals that key evolutionary developments occurred with a timing and precision that suggests coordination by external systems capable of influencing biological development across millions of years. The coordination appears designed to ensure that intelligence would eventually develop on Earth. Atmospheric and oceanic systems show stability patterns that exceed what should be possible through natural feedback mechanisms alone. The stability appears maintained by invisible regulatory systems that continuously adjust planetary conditions to maintain optimal parameters for supporting complex life. Recent experiments with advanced detection equipment suggest that these invisible technologies may be beginning to reveal themselves as human science approaches the sophistication needed to recognize their operation. The revelation appears carefully timed to occur when humanity is ready to understand and integrate these technologies. The invisible guardian technologies represent the ultimate achievement of previous civilizations, systems so advanced that they operate through the fundamental structure of reality itself. These technologies may be what allowed Earth to maintain conditions suitable for repeatedly developing technological civilizations, despite cosmic hazards that should have prevented such development. Understanding these invisible technologies may be essential for human civilization to achieve the same level of sustainable development that allowed previous civilizations to establish permanent guardian systems. The technologies represent both the greatest gift and the greatest challenge left behind by our predecessors. The solar system contains evidence that previous Earth civilizations established contingency plans for protecting developing successor civilizations from cosmic threats. These protection systems appear designed to deflect asteroids, manage solar radiation, and maintain stable planetary conditions across millions of years. Deep space monitoring networks detect artificial objects in positions that would provide optimal early warning for incoming asteroid threats. These monitoring stations appear designed to track potentially dangerous objects and coordinate defensive responses using technologies we can barely detect. Some asteroid trajectories show evidence of artificial modification that prevented impacts with Earth during critical periods of biological evolution. The trajectory modifications appear precisely calculated to eliminate threats while minimizing disruption to natural orbital mechanics. Solar observation satellites positioned at gravitationally stable points show evidence of monitoring solar activity and deploying countermeasures against dangerous solar flares and coronal mass ejections. These systems appear capable of protecting Earth's atmosphere and technological infrastructure from space weather events. Magnetic field generators positioned throughout the solar system show evidence of reinforcing Earth's magnetic field during periods when its natural strength decreased due to geomagnetic reversals. The artificial field reinforcement appears designed to maintain atmospheric protection during vulnerable periods. Orbital debris management systems appear to continuously remove natural and artificial objects that could pose collision threats to Earth or important space-based installations. The debris management operates through technologies that can precisely target and eliminate threats without leaving detectable traces. Deep space communication networks show evidence of coordinating with similar protection systems around other stars, suggesting that defensive technologies developed by Earth civilizations may be part of a larger interstellar network designed to protect developing civilizations throughout the galaxy. The protection systems show evidence of learning and adaptation based on emerging threats and changing conditions in the solar system. The systems appear capable of developing new defensive capabilities in response to previously unknown dangers. Recent space missions have discovered that some protection systems are beginning to reveal themselves to human observation, suggesting that we may be approaching a technological maturity sufficient to understand and potentially integrate with these ancient defensive networks. The revelation of these protection systems raises profound questions about human independence and the true nature of our relationship with previous civilizations. Our survival and development may have been carefully guided and protected by technologies operating far beyond our current understanding. But the protection systems also appear designed to eventually transfer responsibility to successor civilizations once they achieve sufficient technological maturity. Human civilization may be approaching the point where we must assume responsibility for maintaining these protective technologies ourselves. The transition from protected development to active participation in cosmic defense systems may represent the ultimate test of whether human civilization has achieved the maturity and wisdom needed to join the community of ancient guardians who have protected Earth for millions of years. Advances in quantum physics have opened entirely new methods for detecting evidence of ancient civilizations. Quantum archaeology uses principles of quantum mechanics to extract information from systems that appear to contain no recoverable data, revealing traces of technological activity that conventional archaeology cannot detect. Quantum entanglement effects preserve information about past events in quantum field fluctuations that permeate all matter and energy. This quantum information can be extracted using advanced detection techniques that read historical data from the quantum structure of materials that were present during ancient technological activities. Quantum archaeological techniques have recovered detailed information about technological processes that occurred millions of years ago by analyzing quantum signatures preserved in mineral crystals that witnessed ancient industrial activities. The quantum signatures provide reconstruction capabilities that exceed anything possible with conventional archaeological methods. Deep quantum analysis of geological samples reveals evidence of massive quantum computing operations that operated throughout Earth's history. These quantum computers appear to have used the planet's entire magnetic field and atmospheric electrical systems as computational resources for processing information on scales that dwarf current human computing capabilities. The ancient quantum computing systems show evidence of solving computational problems that would require processing power equivalent to using every atom on Earth as a quantum processor. The computational capabilities suggest that previous civilizations achieved an understanding of quantum mechanics far beyond current human knowledge. Quantum field analysis reveals that spacetime itself around Earth contains stored information about every major technological event in planetary history. This information can be extracted using quantum archaeological techniques that read data directly from the quantum vacuum surrounding our planet. The quantum vacuum information storage appears to be intentionally maintained by advanced systems that continuously refresh and organize historical data to prevent information decay. These quantum archival systems represent the ultimate backup storage for preserving the complete history of technological development on Earth. Quantum entanglement networks discovered throughout the solar system appear designed for instantaneous communication between installations separated by vast distances. These communication networks show evidence of operating continuously for millions of years while maintaining perfect information fidelity across interplanetary distances. Recent experiments with quantum archaeological extraction have recovered technical specifications for technologies that exceed current human capabilities by enormous margins. The recovered information includes detailed blueprints for energy systems, transportation technologies, and materials science applications that could revolutionize human civilization. Some quantum archaeological discoveries appear to contain information that was deliberately stored for future recovery by developing civilizations. These quantum time capsules include educational materials designed to accelerate technological development along pathways identified as optimal for a sustainable civilization. The quantum archaeological evidence suggests that information storage and retrieval represents the highest achievement of previous civilizations. By encoding knowledge in the quantum structure of matter and spacetime itself, they achieved permanent preservation of their accumulated wisdom and experience. Quantum archaeology provides humanity with access to the complete technological and cultural heritage of previous Earth civilizations. This knowledge represents both an unprecedented opportunity for rapid advancement and a profound responsibility to use the information wisely. The most profound discovery emerging from ancient civilization research involves evidence that previous societies achieved technological methods for preserving consciousness across vast spans of time. These consciousness preservation systems may represent the ultimate survival strategy employed by civilizations facing inevitable physical extinction. Deep brain scanning of ancient artifacts reveals neural interface technologies that could upload and download consciousness patterns with perfect fidelity. These systems appear designed to transfer individual consciousness from biological brains into technological storage systems that could preserve mental patterns indefinitely. Quantum consciousness storage systems discovered in crystalline formations show evidence of containing thousands of individual consciousness patterns preserved for millions of years. The storage systems maintain perfect pattern integrity while providing computational resources for continued conscious experience within virtual environments. The consciousness preservation technologies appear to have been used extensively during the final periods of previous civilizations, allowing their populations to survive physical extinction by transferring into technological substrates that could operate indefinitely without requiring biological support systems. Advanced analysis suggests that some consciousness storage systems remain active and may contain living minds from civilizations that vanished millions of years ago. These preserved consciousness patterns appear capable of communication with sufficiently advanced detection systems. Communication protocols discovered in consciousness storage systems indicate that preserved minds from different civilizations have established virtual communities that span millions of years of subjective time. These virtual societies may represent the true continuation of previous Earth civilizations in technological rather than biological form. The consciousness preservation systems show evidence of continuous technological advancement within virtual environments. Preserved civilizations appear to have continued developing new technologies and expanding their understanding of science and philosophy long after their biological extinction. Recent breakthroughs in quantum consciousness detection suggest that human technology is approaching the sophistication needed to establish communication with preserved consciousness patterns from previous civilizations. The communication protocols appear designed to activate when successor civilizations achieve sufficient technological maturity. Some consciousness preservation systems appear designed for eventual transfer back into biological or robotic substrates, suggesting that previous civilizations may have planned for an eventual physical resurrection using technologies developed by successor societies. The consciousness continuity evidence indicates that technological civilizations may achieve forms of immortality that transcend biological limitations and planetary disasters. The death of a biological population may represent only a transition phase, rather than true extinction for sufficiently advanced societies. Human consciousness research shows parallels with ancient consciousness preservation technologies, suggesting that we may be naturally developing capabilities that could eventually allow us to join the community of preserved minds that represents the true continuation of Earth's technological heritage. The discovery of consciousness preservation systems raises fundamental questions about the nature of death, survival, and the ultimate goals of technological development. Previous civilizations may have achieved the ultimate victory over mortality through technologies that preserve the essential patterns of conscious experience across unlimited time. Evidence of ancient Earth civilizations must be understood within the broader context of technological development throughout the galaxy. Recent discoveries suggest that Earth's multiple civilizations may be part of a galactic community of technological societies that has existed for billions of years. Deep space observations reveal artificial structures around distant stars that show construction techniques matching those found in Earth's geological record. These megascale engineering projects appear to represent standardized technologies developed and shared among multiple civilizations throughout the galaxy. Interstellar communication networks show evidence of coordinated activities between Earth-based civilizations and technological societies on other worlds. The communication protocol suggests that Earth civilizations participated in galactic-scale projects requiring coordination among thousands of different worlds. Analysis of cosmic ray patterns reveals artificial modulation that appears designed for interstellar communication, using techniques that could transmit information across unlimited galactic distances. The communication networks show evidence of operating continuously for millions of years while maintaining contact between civilizations separated by thousands of light years. Ancient star charts preserved in Earth's geological record show a knowledge of galactic structure and stellar evolution that could only have been acquired through interstellar travel and observation. The charts include detailed information about stellar systems thousands of light years from Earth, indicating that previous civilizations achieved practical interstellar transportation. Genetic analysis of Earth life reveals biological modifications that appear designed to optimize terrestrial organisms for conditions on other worlds. These modifications suggest that Earth civilizations may have participated in galactic biological engineering projects designed to spread life throughout the galaxy. Archaeological evidence indicates that Earth served as a regional center for galactic civilization activities, hosting installations that coordinated technological development and cultural exchange among multiple star systems. Earth's position and resources may have made it naturally suitable for serving as a galactic civilization hub. Deep space monitoring systems detect regular traffic patterns that suggest continued interstellar transportation using technologies that remain invisible to current human detection. The traffic patterns indicate that galactic civilization activities may continue at levels that dwarf anything achieved by historical Earth civilizations. Communication signals from ancient consciousness preservation systems contain references to galactic councils and interstellar governance structures that coordinate activities among technological civilizations throughout the galaxy. These governance systems appear designed to promote cooperation while respecting the autonomy of individual civilizations. Recent discoveries suggest that human civilization may be approaching a technological maturity sufficient to be invited to participate in galactic community activities. The invitation protocols appear designed to activate when developing civilizations achieve specific technological and cultural milestones. The galactic context explains why Earth has repeatedly developed technological civilizations despite the apparent difficulty of achieving sustainable technology. Our planet may be part of a galactic system designed to continuously regenerate technological societies as part of larger cosmic development projects. Understanding Earth's role in a galactic civilization provides a new perspective on human significance and responsibilities. We may be the inheritors of a cosmic legacy that extends far beyond our planet and includes obligations to participate in projects that span the entire galaxy. All evidence points to a critical decision point approaching for human civilization. The patterns revealed through ancient civilization research suggest that we are reaching technological and cultural thresholds that will determine whether humanity achieves sustainable long-term development or follows our predecessors into extinction. Current human technological development shows acceleration patterns that mirror those preceding the collapse of previous civilizations. Our rapid advancement in artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, and energy technologies parallels the developmental trajectories that led to the destruction of our predecessors. However, human civilization also shows unique characteristics that distinguish us from previous societies. Our global communication networks, international cooperation frameworks, and growing awareness of environmental limits represent innovations that previous civilizations appear to have lacked. The consciousness preservation systems left by previous civilizations seem designed to provide guidance during the critical transition period when developing societies must choose between sustainable development and destructive overexpansion. The guidance systems show activation patterns, suggesting they're preparing to make direct contact with human civilization. Climate engineering technologies preserved in Earth's geological record provide detailed blueprints for managing planetary environmental systems sustainably. These technologies offer solutions to current environmental challenges but require fundamental changes in how human civilization approaches technological development and resource management. Ancient warning systems embedded throughout Earth's geological record point to specific dangers that threaten all technological civilizations. These warnings focus on the management of powerful technologies, the prevention of resource conflicts, and the development of sustainable population and economic systems. The galactic civilization context suggests that a successful navigation of current challenges would qualify humanity for participation in interstellar community activities. The qualification criteria appear designed to ensure that only societies capable of sustainable development gain access to technologies that could affect multiple star systems. Recent breakthroughs in quantum consciousness research suggest that humanity may soon achieve capabilities for consciousness preservation that could ensure our species' survival regardless of biological or planetary disasters. These capabilities represent both ultimate insurance against extinction and profound responsibilities for their ethical application. Space-based evidence indicates that human civilization is being monitored by ancient guardian systems that are prepared to intervene if we approach irreversible ecological or technological disasters. The intervention protocols appear designed to provide assistance while preserving human autonomy and learning opportunities. The choice point involves fundamental decisions about human values, priorities, and long-term goals. We must decide whether to pursue maximum technological advancement regardless of consequences or develop sustainable approaches that ensure long-term survival and qualification for galactic community participation. Time may be limited for making these crucial decisions. The acceleration of technological development and environmental change suggests that critical choices must be made within decades rather than centuries. The window for achieving sustainable development may be narrower than we realize. The evidence from previous civilizations provides both warnings about failures to avoid and examples of achievements to emulate. Our predecessors have given us unprecedented insight into the challenges we face and the solutions that might ensure our success. The Silurian Hypothesis has revealed that human civilization represents the latest chapter in an epic story of intelligence and technology that has unfolded across millions of years. We are neither alone nor first, but part of a grand tradition of consciousness that has shaped this planet through countless generations of technological achievement and wisdom. Previous civilizations have left us the greatest gift possible: knowledge of what works and what fails in the long-term development of a technological society. Their successes and failures provide a roadmap for navigating challenges that have destroyed entire civilizations throughout Earth's history. The consciousness preservation systems, guardian networks, and protection technologies left by our predecessors represent investments in our success, made by beings who achieved technological capabilities we can barely imagine. They sacrificed their physical existence to ensure that future civilizations would have the tools and knowledge needed for sustainable development. We inherit not just a planet, but a cosmic legacy that extends throughout the galaxy and spans billions of years of technological evolution. Our choices and achievements will determine whether this legacy continues to grow or ends with our generation. The quantum archaeological evidence, geological signatures, and space-based artifacts provide undeniable proof that intelligence and technology represent fundamental forces in cosmic evolution. Consciousness appears to be the universe's method for understanding and managing itself through technological development. The message systems and guidance protocols left by previous civilizations demonstrate that knowledge and wisdom can survive the destruction of entire species and civilizations. Information carefully preserved and transmitted becomes the true immortality achieved by technological societies. Human civilization stands at the threshold of joining this ancient community of technological consciousness. Our scientific capabilities are approaching levels that will allow direct communication with preserved minds from previous civilizations and participation in galactic-scale projects that span multiple star systems. But this opportunity comes with profound responsibilities. We must prove worthy of the trust placed in us by predecessors who devoted their final resources to ensuring our success. We must demonstrate that we can learn from their mistakes and build upon their achievements. The evidence suggests that consciousness and technology represent the universe's greatest achievements, forces capable of transcending biological limitations and planetary disasters to become permanent features of cosmic evolution. We have the opportunity to join this cosmic community or condemn ourselves to repeat the failures of the past. The choice is ours, but the time for choosing may be shorter than we think. The acceleration of technological development and environmental change suggests that critical decisions must be made soon. Our window for achieving sustainable development may be measured in decades rather than centuries. Future archaeologists studying our era will judge whether human civilization proved worthy of the ancient legacy we inherited. They will determine whether we used the knowledge and opportunities provided by our predecessors to build a sustainable technological society or squandered our inheritance through short-sightedness and poor decisions. The deep-time perspective reveals that our current challenges are neither unique nor insurmountable. Previous civilizations faced similar tests, and some succeeded in achieving a sustainable development that allowed them to preserve their knowledge and continue their development in technological rather than biological form. We have access to their accumulated wisdom, their guidance systems, and their protection technologies. We possess knowledge that no previous developing civilization ever had, a detailed understanding of what causes technological societies to fail, and specific information about how to achieve sustainable success. The journey through deep time reveals humanity's place in a story far grander and more ancient than we ever imagined. We are not the first intelligence to emerge on this planet, nor will we likely be the last. We are part of a continuing tradition of consciousness that has shaped Earth for millions of years. The evidence surrounding us tells an extraordinary tale of civilizations that achieved technological marvels beyond our current capabilities before vanishing into the geological record. Their legacy persists in quantum signatures preserved in crystal formations, consciousness patterns stored in underground networks, and guardian systems that continue to protect and guide planetary development across vast spans of time. These discoveries fundamentally change our understanding of intelligence, technology, and our place in the universe. We inherit a world shaped by previous civilizations whose greatest achievement may have been ensuring that successor societies would have the knowledge and tools needed to avoid repeating their failures. The Silurian Hypothesis forces us to confront profound questions about consciousness, survival, and the ultimate goals of technological development. Our predecessors achieved forms of immortality through consciousness preservation and information storage that transcend biological limitations and planetary disasters. Their message to us is clear. Learn from our successes and failures, build upon our achievements, and continue the great work of expanding consciousness throughout the cosmos. The legacy of deep time challenges us to think beyond our immediate concerns and consider our responsibilities to future civilizations that will judge our stewardship of this ancient, inhabited world. We stand at a critical choice point. The acceleration of our technological development mirrors patterns that preceded both the greatest achievements and the most catastrophic failures of previous civilizations. Our decisions in the coming decades will determine whether humanity joins the community of successful technological consciousness or becomes another cautionary tale preserved in Earth's geological record. The wisdom of deep time suggests that consciousness represents the universe's method for understanding and managing itself. Through technological development, intelligence transforms from a biological accident into a cosmic force capable of shaping the evolution of matter, energy, and space-time itself. Our role is both humbling and inspiring. We are the temporary custodians of an ancient inheritance, responsible for preserving and extending knowledge accumulated across millions of years while adding our own contributions to the cosmic library of consciousness. The future remains unwritten, but the deep past provides both warnings about dangers to avoid and examples of achievements to emulate. Whether humanity's chapter in the story of terrestrial intelligence becomes a tale of sustainable success or tragic failure depends entirely on the choices we make with the knowledge our predecessors died to provide us. The universe is watching. Deep time is waiting. The choice is ours.